Good morning, financial algebra. We are going to cover 8.4, and I'm only going to cover that which is on your homework assignment. So on finding the average, and we all know how to do that. So there is something in this section called a simple moving averages, or they use the shorthand SMA. And there are two methods. The arithmetic average is just the basic method you were taught on how to find an average. And then they do have a method called subtract method. But you use whichever method you prefer. I'm just going to go over the basic average method, okay, because it's very simple. So basically, you're going to be calculating multiple averages for the number of days they specify. So we're going to jump into number 1. And I'm going to try to color code it so you can see what I'm doing. So number 1, determine the 3-day simple moving averages for the 10 consecutive day closing prices. So you just start with the first 3 numbers, right? Real simple. So you would add them all up and divide by 3, and that would give me my first one. So 7.78 plus 7.9 plus 8 divided by 3, I got 7.89. And so there is the first one. Now, the next one, instead of starting with the first number, you don't do the next set. You're just going to start with the next number. So I'm going to start with 7.9 and do these 3 numbers. So now I'm doing 7.9 plus 8 plus 7.97 divided by 3. And that gives me, I'm using my calculator, 7.96. So there's the next one. Now, the next 3-day average, you start with the next number. So not the one first, not 7.9. Now I'm starting with 8, and I'm using these 3 numbers. So 8 plus 7.97 plus 7.86 divided by 3, and that will give me the next average. So 8 plus 7.97 plus 7.86. I hit enter, divided by 3, and I got 7.94. And then you guys keep moving down the line one at a time per 3. So next one would be these 3. Each time I'm one number over. And so for this next one, I'm doing 7.97 plus 7.86 plus 7.67 divided by 3. So 7.97 plus 7.86 plus 7.67 divided by 3, and I get 7.83. And now I'm going to move down the line. So the next number would be these 3. And so 7.86 plus, I'm going to run out of room. Divided by 3, and that gives me 7.86 plus 7.67 plus 7.6. Hit enter, divide by 3, and I get 7.71. So this is what I would do, and I would keep moving down the line. So now I'm doing these 3. So 7.7 plus 7.6 plus 7.65 divided by 3, and that will give me this next one. So 7.67 plus 7.6 plus 7.65 divided by 3, and I get 7.64. I ran out of highlighters, but we'll just do these next 3. So 7.6 plus 7.65 plus 7.65 divided by 3. So 7.6 plus 7.65 times 2 divided by 3, and I get 7.63. And then finally, the last one would be these three here for our last rolling or moving average. Notice I went in threes because they said a 3-day. So I just did threes all the way down to get this last one, 7.65 plus, or times, sorry, 7.65 times 2, because there's 2 of them, plus 7.7 divided by 3, and I get 7.67. So in the computer, ask you, and I believe you would list them with dollar signs and commas. So on your homework, and list the first one with a dollar sign, comma, the next one, then 7.94, and it needs to be in the order you calculated them in. 7.83, 7.71, 7.64, 7.63, and finally 7.67. And so that is how your homework would ask you to enter it. All right, so we're going to do a couple more together. Again, I don't care what method you use. So if this makes the most sense to you, use this one. So now for number 2, they're wanting me to do a 5-day. So I'm going to do it starting with the first number and counting 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to add all of those up. There is 121.65 times 3 plus 121.6 times 2 divided by 5. That's just the fast way to enter it. So 121.65 times 3 plus 121.6 times 2 divided by 5, and I got 121.63. So that is my 5-day average. So remember, the next one, you just start one number to the left and then count 5 from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that's going to be this next one. I've got 2 121.6s. I've got 2 121.65s, and then just 1 121.52 divided by 5. Now when you're doing it, you don't have to write it all down, right? You could just be entering it in your calculator, but so you can have these, I'm doing it. So times 2 plus 121.65 times 2 plus 121.52. And divided by 5, and I get 121.604, and it just depends on how the computer tells you to round it. Right? Next 5, so starting 1, the next number down, and then those 5. So I've got 2 121.65, right? 1, 2. So times 2. I got 1 121.6, 121.52 plus 120 divided by 5. And so here's my next one. 121.65 times 2 plus 121.6 plus 121.52 plus 120 divided by 5, and I get 121.28. So next one, you start one more over and then count 5 from there. Now those are all different. So I've got 121.65 plus 121.6 plus 121.52 plus 120 plus 120.67 divided by 5 equals. So 121.65 plus, then you'd enter it in your calculator. And I get 121.09 because it's 0.088. All right, so we only need to do it 2 more times, right? We have this next number over, and I'm running out of room for my highlighter, so I'm going to start right here, and that would be those 5 there. And of course, I don't have any repeats, so 121.6 plus 121.52 plus 120 plus 120.67 plus 12115 divided by 5. Then I'll put what it equals right here. So I'm entering it in my calculator. And I get 121.058, and I will leave that in purple. All right, next one, I'm now going to start one number down, and it's these last 5. So this is the last time I will have to compute the average, and so for that I got 121.52. I have 120, 120.67, 111.5, and 121.45 divided by 5, and that will give me this last 5-day average. So entering in my calculator, divided by 5, I got 121.024. So depending on how the computer program asks you to round your numbers, it does ask, I will list them in order, so starting here and working our way down. So for the computer, I would do 120.63, 121.60, I'm guessing they're going to say to the nearest hundredths, comma, 121.28, let me move that up, and then 121.09, 121.06, and 121.024. And that is what I would enter into the computer. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I could do more with you, but the only thing that changes is how many days at a time you would use. So if it was 6 days, then starting with the first number, you would do these 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find that average, then do the next 6, then the next 6, go one number down, and you would keep going. And then the last one would be this number down. Okay, so it's the same method over and over and over, just using the amount of days that you're adding. And that should complete your homework.